Me and Kate were just saying. Good morning, sixth graders. Today we are going to work on just some kind of review stuff to make sure you're super prepared for your MLQ tomorrow. I want to go over some things that authors do to introduce, develop, or convey a certain idea. That sounds like some big vocabulary, but we see it a lot in ELA. Let's first break this down. Go ahead and underline the word introduce, and then annotate the prompt to say introduce means begin, or when is the first time we see an author do something. But then when we're talking about develop, go ahead and underline develop. That is when we are talking about how an author works through a text with something. So if I ask you how a theme is introduced, it means when's the first time you really see the theme appear. But if I ask you how a theme is developed, it means, okay, how do I see that theme continue to work through this entire text and being shown many times? And then convey is just really when something is shown. So whenever something is introduced or developed, it's being conveyed. Make sure that you annotate for those three things and pause when you are done. Okay, so we've looked at many different strategies that authors use in order to do these three things. To show us point of view, to introduce a theme, to develop a character. Let's take a look and just remind ourselves at some of the things that they do. Authors can use inner dialogue, repetition, dialogue, characters speaking to each other. They use character actions and reactions. I know for a lot of us this is repetitive, but we are going to continue to do it. Make sure you jot this down. Also, they use figurative language, which means similes and metaphors. They just sometimes simply state opinions to show facts. Again, I know that a lot of us know these already, but we're going to jot it down because this is your notes for the week, okay? And then sometimes they give us flashbacks or past experiences. Unpause once you have all those things written down. Okay, welcome back. So what you're going to do with the next few passages is see, okay, which of these things is the author doing? And then which of the strategies are they using to do it? Passage 1. The teasing hum of the air conditioner buzzed in the other room. Samantha closed her eyes and tried to fall asleep, but she was stuck in the sticky, messy, cramped pig pen. The blaring sun fought like a warrior against the protective cover of her curtains and made its way into the room. Samantha slowly got up from the leather couch and made her way to the other side of that prison. Usually, the soft plushness of the carpet provided comfort, but days like today called for a hardwood floor, cool and sturdy. It seemed as though the apartment was going to melt into the ground. All right, so what is the author doing here? Is the author A, developing a character's point of view, B, revealing a theme, C, introducing a setting? Unpause when you're done. Okay, so this one was introducing a setting. One thing that I want you to get in the habit of doing to make sure that you're always really reviewing your vocabulary, is even annotate your answer so you realize what you're really saying here. So go ahead and over the word introducing, write this definition of introducing. And then for setting, right above that, what a setting is. And then double check what this answer is really saying and see that it matches what passage 1 is. Now, how does the author do it? So when we're thinking, okay, I read passage 1 and I know that my author is for the first time telling me the where and when of this text, what has the author done in order to convey, to introduce that? Has the author A, used repetition to show importance, B, stated his or her opinion, or is it C, by using similes and metaphors? Unpause and you've got the answer. Yeah, this one is using similes and metaphors. Go ahead and annotate for the similes and metaphors in the passage that you just read. So anytime that you are seeing the similes and metaphors here, you can notice that that is the setting being introduced. That's the strategy our author uses, figurative language, to teach us about this setting. Passage number 2. I'm honored to be with you today at your commencement from one of the finest universities in the world. I never graduated from college. Truth be told, this is the closest I've ever gotten to a college graduation. Today, I want to tell you 3 stories from my life. That's it, no big deal, just 3 stories. The first story is about connecting the dots. I dropped out of Reed College after the first 6 months, but then stayed around as a drop-in for another 18 months or so before I really quit. So what is the author doing here? Is the author A, conveying a theme, B, introducing a series of flashbacks, C, developing a point of view? And number 4, how does the author do this? So look at your answer to number 3 and think, okay, how do I know that the author made that certain point? A, repetition of important ideas. B, sharing inner dialogue, C, sharing past experiences. Unpause when you have these both done. All right, so this is Steve Jobs introducing a series of flashbacks. We know he's introducing because he hasn't actually done this yet, but this is the beginning of his speech, and we know that's what we connect the word introducing to. And he is doing this by sharing his past experiences. So make sure that you have those two answers down. And like I said before, go ahead and annotate the options so you know what they're really saying using the vocabulary from your notes right here.